Mic check, mic check. All right. Let's see if I can quickly make a. How do you do this? Oh, hold on. Welcome to the Betterment Broadcast. I am your host, Rapper Raven, also known as Brother Raven. There we go. Found it. There you go. Betterment Broadcast, the 207th broadcast. Well, hey. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live. Do not forget. All right, let me just make the screen bigger so I can. Yeah, that makes it easier. We'll take a swig of this. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's mic check. Good. So let's start as we always start. Don't forget to follow the Black Betterment Building Instagram page. Let me post that in the actual thing so you can click and all that. Like I said, there you go. I'm gonna put it there for you, fantastic people. Don't forget to tell a friend we're live. All right. So we start as the way we always start. You see, and that is we talk about the triple tragedies. What is that? White supremacy, anti-black racism, and the Ma'afa. These are three very tragic things that happen and have happened and continue to happen to black people, unfortunately. And because of those triple tragedies, it caused a double dilemma, which is we are despised and we are disorganized. But not to worry, family and friends, we have a solution, which is Black Betterment. That's right. A single solution is Black Betterment. And that's what this entire broadcast is about. It's a way for the community to come in and discuss challenges, all that good stuff. A digital space to meet up and try to plot good ways to progress and also to promote the lifestyle of Black Betterment. And what is Black Betterment? It is a lifestyle of Black people continuously helping Black people. Very straightforward, right? All right. Don't forget it. Let me focus on the triple triumphs, which is Black families, Black economics, and Black health. That's what we focus on today. Today it's Black health and what's the other one? I think today's Black health. I would say first, yeah, Black health. All right, so don't forget we're going to set the links already should be plastered at the top. Don't forget to if you do watch the giant, I do recommend. Like I said, I tend to ramble on for like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Then I throw the link out, which is out at the moment, and then we can go on for another hour or so. But if people don't jump in, then the show is on like an hour or so. But the show is set up for the community to have the conversation, not just me. But feel free for you to jump in. But when you do, discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment I recommend using those 4D values when we're talking. I recommend it very much. All right. Try not to use derogatory terms. On the screen at the moment is some terms you can use instead of other ones. It just makes communicating that much easier if you understand. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. So what are two topics for today? The two main topics are cosmetic surgery for Black women. Is cosmetic surgery growing in the Black community? Is it? You let me know. And South African Black on Black xenophobia. We look at xenophobia in South Africa. I think we did that last week before, a similar thing. But I guess it's a continuation of that. Cosmetic surgery, I think I was talking about a couple of weeks back because I'm getting all these ads. And maybe because if you click on, or if you view one for more than 4 seconds, maybe the algorithm goes crazy. I don't know much about cosmetic surgery. The names and the prices. Hopefully you guys will know, but I am getting a lot on my feeds. And I'm seeing more shockingly, I'm seeing more Black women as the models, or even the faces of, for example, yeah. So, I mean, let me start as I normally start. And I'll come back to this. Let me. So, how we normally start for those who are new is, I randomly look at videos that came on my algorithm, and then we just give you the Black Bear Man perspective of that, and then we jump into the two topics. So, yeah, the shows 2007. Let's see what videos we can discuss. What's this one? Which one? What's that? Oh no, that's enough for that. Oh,
The British Army.
let's talk about this unfortunate one about this sister. Did we cover it last week? I can't remember now. Listen to it again if we did. Hold on.
That a black soldier who fronted several recruitment campaigns had to work in an unacceptable environment where she experienced sexist and racist harassment.
Yeah.
As well as apologising, the army has paid the soldier a substantial financial sum. Kerry Ann Knight, who left the army this year, has been talking for the first time to our defence correspondent Jonathan Beale.
Must have been really tragic for them to pay, especially if it's a substantial sum, as he's mentioned. There's a sister there.
Yeah. This is just, that's the section I was in. Yeah, can you spot me?
I can spot you.
Yeah.
Kerry Ann Knight always knew she'd stand out. In an army struggling to recruit both women and ethnic minorities.
Were you the only black person?
Yeah, I was the only a black female.
But she joined full of hope, assuming racism had long been stamped out.
For some reason, I thought someone in uniform was going to be professional, and I was very excited to be a part of that and just creating my own family within the army.
I think did I mention this? Maybe my memory was going crazy. I think you covered this last week, but did I? Maybe I must be going mad. But maybe if you didn't check it again. And I think I even made reference to watching the Linford Christie documentary. And I swear I did. Was it on a show or a debate? I can't remember. I'm making parallels to watching that and seeing Linford Christie, really being happy, wanted to represent Britain and the flag, and the Queen was his best friend, that kind of stuff. And it really hurt him that when he won the gold, we were talking about was, turn him into a sexual object, and they didn't really highlight the fact that he's the fastest in the world. It was more so like tongue-in-cheek sexual innuendos about him, and really disappointed him. And it looks like this system is similar things. You get this kind of like black people. I don't know if she's from the continent or if she's from Jamaica. Her name looks like she could be from Jamaica, or the Caribbean, I should say, not Jamaica. Sorry, but I don't know. But yeah, you do get that in the former colony where you come with this really wanting to be a part, and it really destroys. I've got good videos to play after this as well, but let me press play on this. Go on.
Kerry Ann became a face for army recruitment. She knew why the army wanted to appeal to the groups she represented. But she also became a target for abuse.
Oh dear.
I was extremely shocked because I really didn't experience such deep levels of racism. Yeah, I had to learn the hard way in the army.
You did, and that's unfortunate. That's why we want black bearmen to be more trained and taught in all the black communities, just to prepare black people for anti-black racism. That's how it works. You see, especially in isolation, in places where you're the only one, there's very few black people around. It will tend to heighten the level of abuse.
It got worse when she became an instructor at Harrogate. It's where the army trains junior soldiers from the age of 16. It's controversial, not least because in the past there have been allegations of bullying. Kerry Ann says she witnessed it, but she too suffered at the hands of her fellow white male instructors.
They'd pile everything daily on my desk, so just to show me that I'm not welcomed. And I remember one day they took a photo of me just standing at that desk, looking slightly broken, just having to sort out that rubbish before I can use my desk. They'd have Django Unchained playing. They would repeat the most, say, racist lines, and then they'd chuckle.
So they watched Django, the film, directed by Tarantino, a European American guy. And they questioned the amount of N-words that was in the film, but he said creative freedom or whatever it is. And but they were using that to I guess, mock her while she was doing the work she had to do.
He spoke outright in the office about lynching me, simply because
Lynching, historical punishment for innocent black people.
I'd put in a complaint, and it was suggested for me to be tar and feathered.
Rather than root out the racism, she says the army closed ranks to protect the organisation.
When they tried to paint out as if I was a aggressive black woman,
Oh yeah, we've heard that before, haven't we?
that was extremely tough.
Yep, can imagine.
If it wasn't for those individuals who supported me, whether secretly or publicly, yeah, I would have been broken.
Earlier this year, she took her case to an employment tribunal. The army contested it, but as the evidence mounted, it issued an apology. It accepted Mrs. Knight had to work in an environment where she experienced racist and sexist harassment. It admitted the army failed her. In a separate statement, the MOD said it had settled the claim with no admission of liability.
I would never encourage a woman, especially of colour, to join the army, because it's not going to benefit your life in the long run.
Kerry Ann's image was used to promote a positive image of the army, that it's inclusive and welcome to all. But her harrowing experience tells a very different story. Jonathan Beale, BBC News.
BBC News. No, it's a shame, really. I hope the sister's doing well. Hopefully the money, is enough to make her last for a lifetime. But yeah, that's like I said, black betterment is a tool to be used to teach. I was actually talking to a elderly gentleman. Do I even have that conversation? Shall I read it here? I tried to be. I was obviously, when you talk to your elders, you must be respectful. Let's see if I can find anyone. Let me log into together. Where is it? So yeah, I was talking to an elderly gentleman. Let's see. More. Okay, that's okay. Let's see. I've got more messages. I'll update. I get a lot of messages. It's usually about the same topic, to be honest. But I'll ignore that for now. See if my phone can scroll. Okay, there's the uncle there. If I click on it, I wonder who will open. That's not cool. How about if I click on that, will it open?
This topic that I'm going to talk.
Yeah, I hate. You you click on it and it starts talking. They should have I build apps, so I know what I'm saying to an extent. Yeah, they should have a button you press it, and I bet there is, but I just can't. You turn sound off on the actual image because it's annoying. And then sometimes the video is a 1 second loop, so you're and you're trying to type a message. It drives you crazy. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Well, I don't know. Stop doing that. Anyway, let's see what. So what did I say? Black and proud don't feel. Oh, is this over? Where's the brother? Oh, so what did I write then? Sorry, fam, I'm just trying to find. Okay, is it? All right, so I read some long statement, which was. Where's my long statement? I must have said something. Did they delete it and then they kept the thing? I don't know, but he said, isn't it more important, this is an elderly gentleman, to improve the human community than just one single one? So I might have made it, my generic statements I always say, which was something like, because of racism, blah, blah, blah. I think so. The original video was a woman saying that Arab woman saying everywhere she goes, they mistreat black people. So my thing was, black people, work with black people, fix the black community. That's what I said, as you do. And I think an elderly gentleman came in and said, isn't it more important to improve the human community than just one single community? And I said, sadly, elder, it's thinking like this, that's what makes our community collectively inadequate. The idea is to help your community first, then others after. We get in the wrong order. Remember, collectively, black people have no friends. This ideology is very useful when motivating change within. That's why Then the elder jumped in again and said, I take your point, and I accept the principle that charity begins at home. However, life is a journey, and some of us are at the different stage of the journey because we have already done a lot to help our communities. I hear that. It is also important to try and educate other communities to become more aware of the negative impact of racism on both minorities and everyone, he said. What did I say to him? I said, and he said, I said, if you have three groups, black, white, Asian, which of these three groups are most collectively inadequate, and which is the least, in your opinion? And he says, what is the purpose of your question? It's oversimplistic. There is no homogeneous racial group, i.e., homogeneous, sorry, i.e., e.g., sorry. Japanese are very different from Chinese or Indians, but they're all Asian. Nigerians are very different from African Americans. In fact, Nigerians form the largest group of doctors in the US amongst immigrants. On the European front, English people are very different from Spanish, Italians, and Albanians. So you see, your question does not make any sense. Makes perfect sense, by the way, but you carry on reading. Elder, thank you for your wisdom. We thank you. Sadly, the black community are collectively inadequate and collectively have no friends. Your analysis doesn't acknowledge or remedy the issue. The problem we have with the older generation is they did not continue to promote any form of black betterment ideology. And our community is at the bottom. I'm happy to discuss this with you on a live tube. Now, I do that a lot. People, they want to talk to one or two things. And when I suggest, well, typing on this app is quite hard for my hands, and and it's quite annoying. Why you jump on a live? They tend to not want to do that. If they say they do, they usually forget. So yeah, evil. But that's what I'm saying in the sense of my long segue there. Well, by the elders not teaching any form of B1 black betterment, pro-blackness, sisters like this are always going to be victims because they have no defense. And what's happening is black people are the legacy of being subservient and being conquered and colonized is still there. So there's always this longing to want to be a part of something, prove your worth. We're not all that bad, and by the elders' attitude, we see that. That's why we have to kind of like break that, and we have to have a firm stance. And I was talking to myself, I guess, about the three things that I'm trying to push forward when I speak, and that's my memory can remind it. It's truth, logic, and pity. That's right. I'm actually officially trying to push pity in my conversations when I speak to black people. I want the truth and pity to have. I think it's necessary for the black community to identify as collectively inadequate. You see, I think by doing that, then there'll be a heightened motivation to practice black betterment, because you need to find solutions, and without trying to find solutions, you're going to always be a victim, you see. And I think these elders, and I wish to talk to you elders if you're hearing this, to jump on, who have this kind of universal kumbaya, can we all get along attitude. Unfortunately, and I mean this in the most respectful way, you've kind of failed the community because you haven't prepared the community for anything it's kind of like a semi-illusion. And I think we've culturally been able to fail and see success. I think that's what's happened. But yeah, good stuff. So anyway, let's go to another video before I start rambling on. Let's present. Stop. No, invite. It must be present. Maybe. Video. All about it. Okay, let's find it. Well, so big up that sister there. I hope she gets over that. It's never good to be mistreated because of your race or your racial group. What's this? Loves white. Or is that the mixed in? Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's say this is Australia, by the way. This was very, very, very interesting.
You're not really black. You're only 25%. You're light skinned. You're white passing. I could just say, oh, I'm Aboriginal, and then they're like, oh, really? And then that's like the first that it's occurred to them that maybe I am. I think just because, I'm not very dark. I don't look as like traditionally Aboriginal as I think they think I should, I guess.
I was definitely embarrassed in year 7 about admitting I was Aboriginal because no one would believe me. But then getting older, when people ask me now, are you Aboriginal? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Southeast Gippsland. I explain where I'm from, and I explain, yeah, my mum's white, but my dad's black. So I've got both colourings and I've got both sides of the family's genes. I know I'm Aboriginal. It doesn't matter what you think. I know who I am. I know who my family is and my tribe, so it's all good.
There was one student last year and he said, oh, so you're only 25%. And then he would, whenever I'd see him, he'd just call, my new nickname was 25%.
Oh, so Talia, about you being Aboriginal. And I was like, oh, yeah, here it comes. And she's like, so like, are you like half Aboriginal? Like what percent Aboriginal are you?
I don't think people have the right to comment on my skin colour and say I'm not black enough, because the settlers tried to breed out the black skin colour and they succeeded in some families.
Very interesting conclusion there. So this is the Australia. Obviously, over there, they're registered as black. They're indigenous to the land, or are indigenous to the land of Australia, but obviously Europeans colonized. And unfortunately, some were exterminated in Tasmania. Many were killed and also, separated from their families. Some have some kind of reaction to the past and become heavily dependent on alcohol. And obviously, it's a good case study to do, because a lot of the behavior you see all around European colonies from indigenous people. And and they're talking about this, because their parents has not married within the same group. There's question on their blackness, and obviously, eventually they will not be black, if not at all at the moment. I don't know. I can't make that distinction. But and this is the thing. It's a very interesting. This is what we're describing with Hammer's Redemption, where by not picking your own community, you can and living in a society that hasn't acknowledged the genocide and mass murdering and reparations of an entire group, and you are part. You have a parent from one and a parent from another, and as time goes by, I suspect these 3 ladies will not marry an Aboriginal person. I suspect that very much so. And then if they're, the next generation might go for the same, and by then they might be accepted as European. I don't know. That's what's interesting. I think the last one was interesting. The last one she said, let's say that again. It's one more TTPs. The lady they call 25% for some reason. Well, for the reason she declared.
And say I'm not black enough, because the settlers tried to breed out the black skin colour and they succeeded in some families.
So we see that behavior in Brazil as well, and very successful attempts in Argentina. Once again, truth, logic, and pity is what I'm going to push. If you're a black person, you promote black families, it causes tremendous anxiety. And you could be public enemy number 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to use truth, logic, and pity to say why black people should consider maybe becoming constructive and marrying within a group. That's, I think, that'd be a good strategy. And you can use these kind of videos to aid you to see actually what happens when you don't follow suit. All right. Very shocking content. Oh, whoopsie days, where we present video. What is that? Okay. I'm going to start the show soonish. There's maybe 1 or 2 more videos. Speaking of, same thing. Candy Song was on talking about her love life. So I can't remember. It was here.
We hear you say, "Well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, the black family, but then you married a white man."
Yeah,
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him more about that, because it's always very interesting to me to hear this paradox of black people who will make an argument that the system is racist, and then also make an argument like this, which is essentially making an argument for the Supreme Court to revisit Virginia versus Love and basically say that black Americans and white Americans shouldn't be marrying. I think the greatest thing ever.
So whenever you're talking about, first of all, there's gonna be tons of people who watch this who are married to Europeans. It's weird. There was a woman who she rang to some show and she was angry at some argument between African Americans and Jamaican Americans or something like that, and she was talking about being everyone is black, don't fight, we have to love each other, you know, the Europeans did this, did to her. And she goes, oh, and I'm married to a white man. I thought that was interesting. But once again, obviously, I've been practicing black bearing for so long that these things are normal. But to the average everyday black person, that's normal there. But to people like myself who's been on the scene for so long, your mind starts focusing more on black solutions. So it makes sense to do this. But once again, as time goes by, my stance is your stance, if not already. Just kind of listen. Yeah, I was gonna say to the sister is when they're talking about this kind of stuff, keep focusing on this concept that it's racist to not marry someone else or whatever they say. And I think more so remember the truth, logic, and pity. No, just say black people are collectively inadequate. Other groups are in a superior position. Collectively, black people have no friends. We struggle to unify. We struggle to stay on code. So there has to be templates that make sense. And one of the things that we push forward is that to have a constructed black family, which is constructed black man, constructed black woman. Remember, the strategy I'm pushing forward is truth, logic, and pity. I think it's worthy for black people to be pity. And I want to debate that out loud because I'm going to run anyone down as I challenge anyone in the black community to ever go against anything I ever say as it pertains to trying to push marketing strategies to improve black grammar. It was just fun to see what a counter argument to the claim I make is, but as usual, it doesn't happen. I look forward to it. But evil, that was what I would say. But let's carry on listening.
Is when people come together on the basis of who they love and get married. You know, for me personally, I never thought of my husband as a race. It's very interesting to me that see people go, she's married to a white man. When I look at my kids, I'm not like, oh, my kids are mixed. I have a mind that is just, you know, if you even knew half the things that I'm thinking about, the stuff that I'm reading, just go all the time. It's difficult for me to find. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me. You know, the challenge that I needed, whether you want to say like an academic challenge, whatever.
I think the argument I would say is a sister like this is always very harsh and negative to a degree towards the black family, the black community. But she herself, they feel that maybe she disqualified herself by not even being in the community at all and marrying out.
It is with my same interests. It just was. A lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. Actually read this in a Thomas Sowell book, or maybe it was a Shelby Steele book. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting.
No, so when you look at other communities, communities marry to further the community, the long traditions, you know, to retain wealth and to use that wealth to build more wealth and to have structure. And they tend to not marry within the group that historically dominated them. That tends to be a thing. So when you look at Jewish people, they tend to not marry Germans. When you look at Palestinians, they tend to not marry Jewish people. When you look at any group, really, I mean, this just, you know, it tends to be like if they are not going to marry within their own group, they stay furthest away historical groups that benefit from their destruction. Black people are very different, but I know so obviously Aborigines, black people as well, and even Native Indians. So I think that there's some kind of I think losing and having no reparations might be a part of that. I think losing a battle and then not being compensated, that might contribute to a person's more likely in your community to want to marry into a group that dominated you historically for many years. Could be wrong though. It's a good case study to do. Let's carry on listening before we move on.
You think like if you see two black people together, oh, it's because they are two black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ. You know, I fell in love with my husband just because I think he is one of the most brilliant people ever. You know, I love him.
Did she say IQ?
Him very much. The stuff that we talk about, I'm like, there is no other person that I could have married. We have 3 beautiful children.
I think she said IQ, which is interesting, but okay. Talking about race and then said IQ. Maybe I misheard. I think I am sleepy this day, so whatever. But shall I end and go back to the show, because I'm going to end this. It's half an hour past. So what we got? We got the Africa after UK left. All Black Unite. We might come to that at the end of the show. All right. So let's start the show, Dilio, though. So let's cancel that, please. Let's get rid of that. And let's present. I'm going to start this show. Which one should we do first? Cosmetic or South? Let's do share screen, please. Let's do, what should we do first? Let's do South Africa. Shall we look at the South Africa thing? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So let's have a rundown of the South Africa thing, and I'll give you an update. I think the update should be there. Let's have a sneak peek. Let's just give a rundown. So I'll show you. I've numbered these. 1A. All right, that makes it easy. So have a listen.
Brought to the surface the xenophobic sentiment that has been simmering for years, if not decades. 23-year-old model Chidima Adesina pulled out just days before the final following weeks of online abuse over claims she wasn't South African enough. Xenophobia in South Africa is not a new phenomenon. Cases have been recorded as far back as the mid-1990s. According to Xenowatch, which tracks xenophobic incidents, 574 people have been killed in 1,100 attacks since the end of apartheid in 1994. What has changed, however, is that xenophobic sentiment has entered the mainstream. This is not by accident, but a result of years of hateful rhetoric spewed by many, including politicians and the media. And most of it is anchored on a number of misconceptions about immigrants. The first is the number of foreigners in the country. While it's true, a lot of people from across the continent have moved to South Africa since the fall of apartheid, numbers are often exaggerated by politicians and the media. They use terms like floods of immigrants, creating the impression that foreigners are taking over the country. Last year, a now deleted ex-post by Marcia Baron, a member of the right-leaning party Action SA, claimed there were 15 million undocumented immigrants in South Africa. The party's leader, Herman Mashaba, made similar claims in 2020 before U-turning when he couldn't back them up. Such statements fuel fears about immigration, and it does have an impact. A survey by the country's Human Science Research Council, HSRC, in 2021 revealed that 48% of South Africans thought that as many as 40 million immigrants were living in the country. In reality, the figures are way lower. According to the 2022 census, only 2.4 million of the 62 million people living in South Africa are foreigners. That's just under 4% of the total population. It means South Africa doesn't even make the world's top 20 countries with the highest number of foreigners. The second claim is African immigrants cause high unemployment rates because they steal jobs from citizens. Clearly, lack of work is a major problem, with the unemployment rate currently at 32.9%, but are foreigners to blame? Hardly. According to Stats SA, in 2019, immigrants made up only 5.3% of the country's formal labor force. The real reason is the country's economy has stagnated in the last decade, and very few jobs have been created. Between 2012 and 2022, annual GDP growth averaged only 0.8%. The downturn has been accompanied by a shift from mining and manufacturing to a service-oriented economy. That has seen a significant drop in the number of people working in the two traditional sectors. For instance, in 1987, the mining industry employed more than 827,000 people.
Those logging in, we're looking at South Africa, black on black xenophobia. We look at xenophobia in South Africa. Just looking at a video of trying to unpack what is causing the xenophobia, how long it's been there.
By 2023, that number had almost halved, according to the Minerals Council of South Africa. This trend has also affected other labor-intensive industries, hence leaving millions without jobs. The third claim is that foreigners are behind the country's alarming crime rate. South Africa is by any standards a very
When we're watching the most popular South African film, at least from cinema sci-fi standpoint, I forgot what it's called now. It was a good film though, directed quite well. I remember that film. They had a gang of Nigerians, and they called them the Nigerians, and yeah, the way they portrayed them was very xenophobic, I guess. What's that film called? It was about aliens, and there's a ship above the city or something like that. It was like a big box office film. Quite stable.
Violent country. According to the South African Police Service, SAPS, more than 27,000 murders were recorded between April 2022 and April 2023. Over 42,000 incidents of rape were reported during the same period. So, there is a genuine reason for people to be concerned about crime. But again, I'll ask the same question. Are immigrants behind these horrific numbers? A 2016 HSRC survey found 2/3 of South Africans do blame foreigners. Facts, however, disprove that belief. In September 2022, the then police minister, Bekitele, stated only around 3% of the country's inmates are foreign nationals. In fact, over the last few months, 82% of suspects arrested for serious crimes were South African. That's according to the country's Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI. A similar report by the Pretoria-based Institute of Security Studies, ISS, shows that between 2017 and 2021, undocumented immigrants only made up 2.3% of people detained for crimes. Of course, South Africans are rightly worried about the high levels of criminality and unemployment. However, foreigners are not the cause, and xenophobia is not the answer. This only deflects, perhaps, from the main reason: the failure of successive post-apartheid governments to dismantle structures which keep the bulk of the nation's wealth in the hands of the white minority and the small black elite.
Interesting conclusion there. That since apartheid, the wealth gap has been the same, and as usual, the European descendants have most, if not all, and they have a buffer class of black people who are used to I guess, maintain that kind of power structure. But yeah, xenophobia. Yeah. Let's carry on. Let's carry on the video. So this is now segued into the same. I think the sister who was a model, who they kicked off. I think this is a follow-up. Let's see if I have a follow-up from her story. Let's unpack it more. So.
Easy experience. It was really tough. There would be times where I wouldn't even feel like going outside, and I would really cry myself to sleep because I don't think that anybody deserves the kind of backlash that I have received. And I know that I've grown through everything. I've bounced back from all these challenges and obstacles, and it has just really proved the strength and the courage and the resilience that I have. So obviously I'm advocating for unity. I think my story is a very powerful story, and it can be very impactful because this is a lot of people that are not accepted, a lot of people that are still fighting for their identity. And I just feel like in order for us to move better and have a better future, we need to stand together as one. And I know that this is a very great platform for me to use and bringing all of us together as one as Africans.
That's a sister there who they asked to step down, represent South Africa's model because her parents were not from South Africa. It caused a bit of an outrage, and I think this might be connected. Let's check the next video.
Out of the Miss SA pageant, but Chidima Adichie is not backing down from chasing crowns. Hi, Scene TV. The 23-year-old has now been invited to participate in Miss Universe Nigeria. And did she just diss the Miss SA pageant by calling the Nigerian competition more prestigious?
I'm looking forward to participating in Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant.
Chidima pulled out of Miss SA after Home Affairs started investigating her citizenship. Her mom has Mozambican roots and her dad is Nigerian. But things could heat up even more. If she wins Miss Universe Nigeria, she will compete against Miss SA's Leah LaRue at the Global Miss Universe competition in November. What do you think about?
That's interesting. So what's happening is this is a sister who was a model born in South Africa, and because her parents was from, did they say Malawi and Nigeria? I missed it. Sorry. There was maybe xenophobia. I don't know, or maybe they have to get South Africa to jump in and explain what that was about. And her sister stepped down, and then I think maybe Nigeria offered the lady to represent Nigeria. And that'll be interesting because now if she goes on to win that, then she would meet the European South African model contestant who was deaf, who won. in the finals or something. I don't know how these things work. I don't really watch it, but that sounds like a movie story. Very interesting. Let me know if you know more about that. But I'll definitely try to follow that. But that sounds like an actual movie story. You know, I mean, I don't know. But South Africa should kind of know better. Once again, I'm not in South Africa. I don't know what's going on. So it'll be good if the South Africans, someone will come in. Or you know, they're always welcome to explain what that fiasco was. But this is interesting. You know, the sister's going to apparently represent Nigeria, which is very, very interesting. All right. So let's go to the other one then. So now we're going to move on to the next topic, which is cosmetic surgery for Black women. Is cosmetic surgery growing in the Black community? Now, I don't know. I don't get cosmetic surgery done myself. And I'm also, I stay isolated for long periods of time. I talk to people on my kind of generation age group. So I might miss what's going on in the younger or the woman communities or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, I do see a lot of videos. I was talking to a cousin at a party, a younger cousin, and I asked her, what do you want to be? And she said she wants to work in what did she say? I think Botox or something like this. Obviously, I don't know. That's the one we inject people, right? Or something. Now, is that and I see there's a lot of women from Eastern European places, and they're into that kind of thing. And you see a lot of them marry Black men, and they bring them to the barbecue and stuff, and yeah, that kind of stuff. And yeah, okay, and yeah, so I'm very new to this world, but the question I remember I saw, what did I say? I saw some advert came on. Advert came on where his sister was advertising some kind of thing. Let me play the advert. Oh, come on, Granny. Dun, 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 dun. No, that one. Not this one. No, that one. Yeah, this song kind of annoys me. Sorry about it. But
A pretty girl from Joburg to me now.
let me turn that down.
I don't touch no wheel 'cause I got a chauffeur.
I'm sorry. Is this a famous singer? It's probably, I don't know, trendy songs, but it's kind of noisy. Because once again, when you're writing comments, it keeps looping. It drives me mad. And I used to produce music for years, so I should be used to that, hearing loops go on for days. But I didn't. But anyway, I saw this on my it's a Black woman, and she's got, I assume she got lips done. She was who this company was using for an ad.
They never had a pretty girl from Joburg to me now, and that's what they prefer.
And I don't know. Obviously, they're obviously doing sight to the woman. I don't know the technique. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating. That could be true. But I think it's Botox or fillers or something. Could be wrong though, because I don't know about this stuff. You guys do. So I made a comment. I said something like, I said some comment about, Black women, you're beautiful. Some I said, it might be more cost effective for us to love each other or create campaigns where our natural beauty is what it is about. I said something anyway. I know some sisters jumped in, but maybe the woman who owned the actual page jumped in. Well, I clicked on the page. I saw this woman. I don't know if she's like a model for them. And I saw the Russians. I don't know what's about. So maybe it's a Russian company. I don't know. But yeah, I saw that. And then obviously on the Shade Bar, there's this sister, very traditional West African features. But I think she went to some of these places. Content creator Richie Ann Jackson goes viral after sharing the results of her ethnic, rhinoplasty, I think they call it. Rhinoplasty. I don't know. I guess rhino because the horn. I don't know. But yeah, so I just think, okay, no, so I'm ignorant. So was this what it's about? Is this what's happening now? Is this a thing? Is this a thing? Like, especially like many Black features are very ethnic driven, very, it represents where you're kind of from. So when you change it, you kind of could be wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, and also I assume these things are not £5.50. I assume they cost a bit. Is this something that, as a community, is this something that we should be doing, but or even promoting? I guess the thing, when you change your face, I guess everyone knows, so I guess you kind of have to promote. I was seeing women rappers and singers, young ones who, streaming, they're gonna get their buttocks done and then, this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, is that, and then, Is that? And so I'm like, is that normal? You know, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it's about nowadays. I don't know if that's beneficial collectively to black people. But then, yeah, I think it's more so having black women speak on this because, I can say it to Macau comes home, but what do I know? But I definitely don't think that's the healthiest concept to want to change ethnic stuff about yourself. But I could be wrong, as I am with a few things. So let's carry on looking at some of the videos just to make it make more sense. Just also, I think, what's this next one? No. No. What's this one? No. Oh yeah. Well, this is unfortunately, there's dangers that
Something did go catastrophically wrong just hours after she took this picture.
So was it? A woman dies during BBL surgery in Istanbul. Her body returned to her family with oh wait, that's even more tales. Several and to blow it up, but I can't see that. Hold on. It says missing organs. How do I blow this up? I can see missing organs. I can't see before it. That's angle's weird. But this camera, hold on.
I'd asked a few times how long she was going to be, and they just kept saying she'd come in, and then
I can see now several missing organs. Yeah, makes sense.
I got a knock on the door, and 3 people walked in and just said, "Can you come with us, please?" They just started trying to say, there's complications of surgery, and I just said, "As my sister died," and he just said, "I'm sorry, but yeah." They just passed me an envelope, said, "This is your money back, and this is your sister's money back." And they said, "You fly." Sorry, she's dead. Here's a plane ticket. There were nothing.
Leanne was refused access to Kadel's body.
This is tragic. Hold on. A woman dies during BBL surgery in Istanbul, right? Her body returned to her family with several missing organs. What? Is this a joke?
It was finally returned to the UK. More devastating news was to come. To their horror, a coroner here told them that large parts of Kadel's organs, including her brain and heart, had been removed.
What? Is this a joke? Is this old news, by the way? How old is it? I need to check. This is shocking.
When they returned her body, they'd kept pieces of her heart and her intestines.
How hard was that to hear?
Better. I don't think it was allowed, but they said it's legal. They can take what they want. I thought you'd have to ask at least permission from family before you took anything, but
they sent a death certificate straight away and just put no, there's not even a cause of death.
We wanted to investigate this further in Turkey, but authorities there refused our visas, providing no reason why. From their Istanbul surgery, clinic expert insists that no evidence of organ trauma was found, and Kadel's body left them untouched. They say an internal review found no malpractice, and her death was likely caused by fat blocking a blood vessel, a risk in this type of surgery.
Günaydın, ben operatör Doktor Sinem Singin.
ITV News can reveal Dr. Sinem Singin is the surgeon who operated on Kadel. She's now left clinic expert but is performing the same procedure elsewhere. She refused an interview on camera but told us Kadel's death was due to a known complication of such surgery, not medical malpractice. Back at clinic.
What? We need to unpack that. What is that about? Really? So, and I know there's many botched jobs done in in other countries around the world, and obviously people trying to get the best deal they can. So when you get these things done, is there like an awareness of the chances of death? Like, is there like a percentage? Like, by the way, so like you go and you got a cold and you're gonna come out alive. Is it like, by the way, things can go wrong and for BBL, how many? I know there was the people who died for tummy tucks and this kind of stuff, but really, That's so tragic. That's like, that's why people die. So anyway, I guess it bleeds into the whole changing health operation. Maybe as a community, we need to actually campaign natural beauty, diversity of different phenotypes and sizes, and really like, you know, I mean, this is, I mean, going to Istanbul and having your organs stolen and then nothing can be done. Is this like a made up story? Like, was this actually covered on mainstream news? Like, am I just? This is just, for me. This is like what? Really? Well, we have to. Let me make a note to research this one. This is like, this is crazy. I mean, this is when you've got daughters and wives and stuff. You just feel like you almost have to say no. You do not do that. And literally, it's like no. You don't go to other countries. You don't go to anywhere and pay to get flipping your body stolen. It's mad. I don't know. This is crazy. It's just all gone pear-shaped, really, isn't it? Well, my goodness. How shocking. How very shocking. Let me go back there. So that's crazy. So yeah, for those joining, we're talking about cosmetic surgery for Black women. Is cosmetic surgery growing in the Black community? That's what we're asking the question. And you guys will know more than me, but I'm seeing a lot of deaths and botched jobs and, you know, cheap solutions being practiced. And then I've seen Black women used as facial filler and am I reading that wrong? Or is it's in Russia? Is that what that means? Xenophobia. I don't know who this woman is. She like, because this is the page that I saw some of the adverts. I was like, okay. I obviously look. There's obviously I'm naive for so much. So maybe me putting BBL and what's this other one and Botox and fillers. I don't know. Maybe they're not the same and they're so different and it's like everyone's doing it like since the caveman days. I don't know because I would know about that because I'm naive. You see, going to the doctors for unless I had a mutation or a life-threatening thing, then I don't know why I would be in the doctors. But I'm a man. What do I know? Women, you need to let me know because by understanding what your mindset, then we can find out. Yes, you should be going to these places and doing that, or maybe we should think that. Maybe we should have a different route. Maybe as men we can come with some campaigns that make that not a possibility. Or maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe women should be going to these places in the truckloads. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems that'd be devastating to lose a loved one because of a botched BBL or tummy tuck surgery. It would be, and obviously, Black health is one of the triple triumphs that we try to achieve collectively. So, tummy tucks is one thing, but having a regular exercising culture and eating healthily and correctly, that might be something that we should push more. What do I know? But anyway, that's not your feelings, family. I'm as usual. I'm tired. I'm working hard. I'm I've got a project tomorrow quite early, so I will probably jump off in 7 minutes. So I'm gonna. If you want to jump and talk about this, feel free. Click, and have your say. This show is for everyone who's Black, who wants to jump in and have a conversation, find solutions, have banter, whatever, you name it. That's what it's for, and it's always best to get it live because once it's not live, you can't do that. So if you wish to jump in to talk about the two topics, which are, let me see if we can highlight those. And cosmetic surgery for Black women, is cosmetic surgery growing in the Black community? And South African Black on Black xenophobia. If you wish to discuss that, now is your time. All we're going to do, what's funny? Let me actually play this. I downloaded this. I haven't blackified it, so I hope it doesn't strike my thing. But it's about cosmetic surgery. So
An implant changed her whole face like crazy. And no matter how much.
I don't know if I keep clapping and flicking if it'll disrupt the sound as well. So let's see. Oh, go back, man. What's wrong with this thing, man? Oh, start again.
I know a girl who got a chin implant, changed her whole face like crazy. And no matter how much cosmetic surgery you receive, you're thinking of little things you can change about your body constantly. Why does somebody else changing their face bother somebody who's happy with themselves?
All right, this This is, I think, it's natural versus cosmetic. I came on my timeline because I was looking at, black things. This came up.
I'm Ka Takahashi, and I'll be moderating this episode of Cosmetic Surgery versus Natural Beauty. The first prompt is, cosmetic surgeries should be as normalized as makeup. Can the agreeers step forward?
What's going on, man?
I kind of see a lot of cosmetic surgery as kind of like high maintenance to be low maintenance type of thing. So girls who are overlining their lips every day, like just get some lip filler, like get the, the Botox or anything. I mean, it kind of starts with makeup, like the girls who are putting on the makeup every day before school when they get a little more money in their pockets and they get a little older and they get a little freedom. Yeah, those are probably the girls that are a little more inclined to want to get, stuff done. It's a little more severe to go under the knife than to wear makeup, but I mean, it's something that happens every day. It's LA, and I just don't think people talk about it because it's so taboo.
Originally, the prompt said surgery, and I don't think surgery should be normalized, but then you started talking about like
Botox,
yeah. Lasers, skincare products, friends and acquaintances that I know who also are aging gracefully. Mm-hmm. Somebody gave them the secret when they were in their 20s. Our collagen starts going to shit at 25. So if you're not doing things that boost the collagen in your skin at the age of 25, you're gonna be playing catch up at some point. If there's something that you could have done, like regular exercise or stretching every day to help you age better, why not do that for your appearance if it's simple, safe, and you're doing it with a trusted physician?
But surgeries, you would say, that should not be normalized.
I don't think it should be normalized, but I'll give you an example. This is gonna sound crazy, but go with me. So I had a girl brought in by her mom for a labiaplasty. And I was ready to walk in the room and be like, are you freaking crazy? Like, what are you thinking bringing in your daughter for a labiaplasty? And I walked in and this girl had a normal labia on one side. And on the other side, she had a labia as long as my finger hanging out. When she was at the YMCA, it would fall out of her bathing suit. She was getting teased by her friends. And she said, Mom, I do not want to go into high school with this thing hanging out of my vagina. I did it awake. It took me 15 minutes to give her a normal anatomic labia that matched her other side. So should we normalize access to feel your best? Absolutely.
Bring the disagreeers in.
I think plastic surgery shouldn't be demonized, but it also shouldn't be normalized totally, completely either. In that way, stealth can also be quite dangerous for people because people are dishonest about the work they get done.
So those who are watching, we're looking at cosmetic surgery for black women. Is cosmetic surgery growing in the black community? And we just looked at a show. We'll play a bit of it before I go, but I haven't heard it before, so I'm just listening for the first time.
And they give this unrealistic beauty.
I haven't blackified this. Hopefully, it won't cause any issues.
Beauty standard. I didn't know a lot of girls had BBLs when they were selling workout plans. Things like that.
Totally.
BBLs?
Yeah, Brazilian butt lift, which is what I have two of.
Okay.
I don't think plastic surgery is wrong. The little girl you're talking about, we can all imagine what that would be like, having some kind of abnormality in your body, or if you have a cleft lip or something that makes you feel so othered. I can understand that. My issue with the idea of normalizing surgery, you have young girls. When you're 18, you get to decide if you're willing to take on the risk. 18-year-olds don't really know anything. I don't want a society that tells young women especially, you need to change these things about yourself surgically.
So I think it's very important that we make a
distinction.
Yes, there we go. We got it. It was there between makeup and surgery because that was the prompt, right? I even faced troubles when I was doing certain surgeries, right? And I had to redo things. And I think once you go down that slope and that route, it goes into like another tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Makeup, it's something that's so easy we can take it off, we can put it on. So that's the only reason why I disagreed. I don't think it should be as normalized as makeup because it's just two totally different ball games.
I completely agree with you, and to a certain extent, I would say, looking at like the makeup industry, makeup in a lot of ways is a little bit too normalized. So I don't think I would want to take that a step further. And if we're normalizing makeup, which in a lot of ways there are women and men who can throw on makeup and it changes the entire shape of their face, and you take it off and it's a completely different person underneath. Surgery does that in a more permanent, invasive way. The goal is to move away from alteration of the self, of the person, and move towards, acceptance.
So alteration of self and permanency are two things that you brought up. Would you apply the same to tattoos and piercings?
Yes. And I say that as a person who has tattoos. And in a lot of ways I look down and I think about myself and I go, why did I feel the need to change this, person that I was?
Self-expression, though, what you wanted to visualize.
Yeah, I think it was a convinced self-expression. And we talk about aging, and the phrase age gracefully was used. When I think about aging gracefully, I think about somebody who is looking at the wrinkles on their face and going, oh, that was a laugh that I had back when I was, 23. This mark that I have on my stomach is from my child who's now in his 30s. Why don't we view that as aging gracefully? Why is there no grace in accepting the wrinkles?
One wrinkle or seeing a little mark on your belly is not what these women are coming in for. I've had patients who are so blown out in their abdomen that you can see their intestines moving under their skin after they've had 4 children. Sure. So is that okay now? Or maybe there's like this one definitive spot where like this is okay, but this is not, in the non.
All right, cool. I don't know where this is going to go. I might watch myself, but this is cool. Cosmetic surgery should be normalized. What's the show even called? Did I write it down? Probably didn't. Hold on. Let me click on it. I'll give you the name. It's called, so you can watch it. What is this one? Let's see. Hold on. It's, hold on. Oh, adverts. Always adverts, isn't it? Oh, man. Plastic surgery versus natural beauty. It's called The Middle Ground. I hope I don't get struck or what it's called. Let me put the link in there for you guys who want to see it in a future time. Hopefully it will come up. And I'll put the name of what it's called for you to check it yourself, because I'm going to go bed. Oh, well, I'm tired. And let me share it on the screen. You can check it out. I'm not going to wait out. Unless someone wants to jump in, I'm going to go. I've done my hour, my contribution. But yeah, check that out if you want to check out interesting debate. But yeah, so we end by saying cosmetic surgery for Black women. Is cosmetic surgery growing in the Black community? I don't know. I think it might be. And South Africa, Black on Black is xenophobia. We look at xenophobia in South Africa. We did. We invite any South African to come to explain what's going on. But we definitely don't support any kind of xenophobia, but I suspect they don't see it that way. Big up. Hello? My check. Big up, Christian. There's a question mark. Is something not playing, or did I say something backwards? I think there's a question mark on your side, sister. I don't know. Maybe something's gone wrong. But cosmetic surgery for Black women. So yeah, we were asking: is it growing in the Black community? For those who are joining now, we showed a few videos about some of the dangers, of course, or some real dangers. Like there's one I'm going to have to research. Where this sister went to Istanbul and she died, and they contacted the family and gave the money back and said she's died and there's no investigation. And when they gave her the body back, she had organs missing, quite a few, and no explanation. So that's something I might have to follow up on, because that's quite shocking. I don't know, and it's English-based family. So yeah, I don't know, and I don't know what the authorities doing, and the woman who performed the actual operation left the company to join another company and didn't want to talk on camera. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but yeah, maybe not. I don't know what's happening. I really, it's obviously you've got nieces, daughters, and family, and girlfriends and wives. And you want to have an understanding about what people are feeling and why they feel they need to go and spend quite a bit of money in a procedure that could be potentially dangerous, or altering yourself where you can't actually alter it back, or becoming addicted to plastic surgery, which I don't think they use. We used to say plastic surgery back in the day, but I think they don't use that term anymore. Maybe we should. I don't know. But either way, I'm gonna go. So till next week, everyone. Black Batman to all Black Batman. I'm so tired. I'm going